What's up, guys? Am I live? I'm live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for being late, but my mouse broke down, so I cannot use anything. Basically, it's actually a miracle that I got this up and running without a mouse. But it's what it is. Let's go. Oops, that's not good. Let's talk about what happened in the last 2 hours, basically, and the thumbnail is probably a bit outdated, or like it's probably not what it should be if you go off the Vlahovic updates, basically. But it is what it is. We're gonna talk about Rovella. We're gonna talk about Vlahovic. We're gonna talk about today a bit in general, especially, and then we will wrap it up unless Dimarcha has something to tell us in the next, I don't know, half an hour, I would say. Let me get that loaded really quickly. Um, okay, so let's start off with not the guy who's on the thumbnail. Okay, so let's talk about what's not on the thumbnail, and that's about Lukaku and Vlahovic. So the quick nutshell update, in a nutshell, is that the deal is off as of now. I think that's the key word in whatever Romano said, whenever Di Marzo said, Ben Jacobs, name it, Sky Sport UK. The main thing you need to get out of that story about Vlahovic and Lukaku is that as of now, at this moment in time, it's off, and that's key. That's very important because I've seen already people go mad. It's done. It's not happening. As of now, the story goes on saying they're trying to sell him in August or in September to the Saudi league, whatever. So the situation is Juve won 40 million and Lukaku, Chelsea are offering Lukaku and 20, 25 million, something like that. So that's what the scenario is. Um, and they told the club. Actually, the story was Chelsea refused the deal. Actually, it's Juve, apparently, saying we need the 40 million and Lukaku or no deal. That's what's happening now. Chelsea are saying no to that. I think like the gap is big. Like it's 15 million. Let's say it's 15 million. It's a big gap. Like it's not 4 or 5 million. It's 15 million. I still believe this will happen. I still believe the club some way somehow will knock a few millions off the price, and Chelsea will bump their offer up a little bit, and they will meet somewhere, not halfway, but like somewhere in the region of 33 and whatever, and maybe they will knock some money off the Lukaku offer. I don't think it's a completely off. I don't think this deal is completely off. I don't believe that because it took this long into the 9th of August and it's been going on. Let's say it's been going on for a good month now. You don't blow it off at this point that quickly because you knew, in my opinion, back in, let's say, the 10th of July, when we first opened talks with Chelsea about this, they knew what the demands were. We knew what Chelsea was going to offer. The fact that in almost 3 to 4 weeks, the gap hasn't been bridged that much, I don't believe that. I struggle to believe that because if that was the case, both clubs knew knew what was expected to get this deal done. You're not gonna do the same thing over and over again for 4 weeks, knowing nobody's gonna budge. And then now, in August the 9th, almost the end of the transfer window, um, said, say no, we don't want him. And I know Ben Jacobs, Julian said they don't want him. If they don't want him, they could have told us the 10th of July when we started the talks. The fact that this is going on for so long, I don't believe that. I don't buy that completely, that Pochettino does not want him. Maybe he wants Caicedo more, and the club is telling him we cannot do both deals. That I can understand. But I struggle to believe he doesn't want Vlahovic when his other option is Jackson and a broken down. What's his name? What's his name? I forgot the guy's name who played for who was on loan. Or was it at Southampton on loan? Broja? Was it Broja? Um, he's just injured all the time. So So that's I find that hard to believe. Like you could have told us, you could have made that clear 1 month ago and say we don't even talk about it. We're not gonna offer a few millions here and there, even though we want Lukaku out of the club, because it would have saved everybody's time. Like Juve, Chelsea, the players, you could have invested that time and actually getting Lukaku out of your club, whatever. Juve should have known by now that okay, this is not happening. We should move on. We should now find a solution for Lukaku. But all these things haven't happened, and that's why I find it hard to believe that this deal is completely off. I really struggle to believe that this deal is completely off, 100% not gonna happen. I don't. I, Again, that's just my opinion. I think we will hear more about it next week. I do believe that, or even in the following week. Just before the end of the market, when every team becomes desperate. When Lukaku says, "I'm not going to the Saudi league," whatever, screw you guys, and Chelsea become desperate, and we become desperate because we need that value on the book for next season, whatever. I don't think it's completely off. That's just my opinion because it took way too long when both teams knew what was needed to get this deal done. Something is up. Maybe strategy from Chelsea saying, okay, because keep in mind, we are pushing it, not Chelsea. So maybe Chelsea are like, okay, no, and let's see what Juve's reaction now will be. I know Romano and Nikoshira and everybody reported the club on 40 million, and that's it. That's it. We want 40 million euros, and we're not gonna lower down, budge down, but we budge down a lot. If you look at the Pellegrini deal, Kulusevski, name it, like we are the club that will budge down. The Lake, Vidal, like name it. Like we are terrible at selling, and I think everybody knows that. Not just me as us as fans. Oh, now I see that my mic is not fully operating. Excuse me for that. I think a lot of clubs know that, not just the fans. I think a lot of clubs know that. So um, it could be good news. Like it could also be bad news because we still need the money. So that means maybe Kiesa's out, or um, maybe it's Bremer that's out. Maybe not this season. Maybe the following season. Maybe mid-season. Who knows? Let me see. Okay. Um, Really quickly, before I move on from the Vlahovic thing, because Julian will make a video on that will drop tomorrow, so you will hear his opinion, because I think you're all sick and tired of hearing mine. Um, I I'm not saying nobody can say, oh, we need to sell Pogba. I don't think that's the main issue here. I think the main issue is replacing him with Lukaku, and thinking about the future, it makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't make sense because if the idea is that you bring in Lukaku and you're competing immediately for the Scudetto, that's not gonna happen. I think this team has qualities enough to compete for the title in this league, but not with this manager. Because if you sit back, think about it, we have the exact same team as last season, only Wea came in. That's like and it's the same thing. And how, like, he had a better squad with players he wanted last season, and we had the season we had. How are we going to improve with a squad that's less good? So you can say sell Vlahovic. I don't think that's the issue here. I think the issue is replacing him with Lukaku. I think that's the main issue. So I'm not gonna say you cannot say sell Vlahovic because I know what his limitations are. I know what he's good at. And if you want a different type of player, that's fine. It's just Lukaku is the issue here. So that's that. Now let's move on to Rovella because that's a thumbnail. So I want to quickly talk about Rovella. And I think I was live. Was it Monday or was it Tuesday? Was it yesterday? Or Sunday? One of those days. During the live, I said I'm not 100% certain Rovella will stay. Actually, I believe there's a a good chance that he will leave. And Alfredo Pedula is saying that Lazio want him. Tomorrow they will actually start negotiation. Juve are open to let him go, compared to a couple of weeks ago, because now they don't play in Europe, so less games and too many midfielders. So they're open to let him go. It doesn't say anything about loan, option to buy, obligation. It doesn't say anything. It's just that Lazio are in the mix and we are open to let him go. If you can improve over Rovella, fine, I guess. But I don't think we can. There's no money. The issue is not playing no European games. The issue is McKennie is still at the club. Because they're not thinking about positions now. They're thinking about actual the amount of players in the squad, wages, all those things. That's what they're thinking about, not position. Because we did that position thing with Kostic and Junior and Sandro and we did all that thing. It made no sense. This also makes no sense. We are open to let Rovella go because we have too many midfielders in the squad, and McKennie is somehow, some way, still at the club. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he's still at the club. So my opinion is that we are just like McKennie is going to stay at this point. It's going to be Locatelli. It's going to be McKennie now. It's going to be Rabiot. It's going to be Pogba, I guess. It's going to be Fagioli. And that's probably enough unless somehow they bring in a midfielder. But at that point, just keep Rovella and spend that money on that back line and ship out somebody else in that back line. That's how I'm thinking about it. But when that news came out, I wasn't shocked. Like, I was kind of waiting for this to actually drop because I was like, this is gonna happen. At one point, I believe this rumor is gonna like circulating back because Cambiasso is getting a presser tomorrow to present himself. That means he's gonna stay at the club. Otherwise, you don't do a presser. Rovella has no squad number. There's no news about a presser, and I find it strange. Like, it's the 10th of August, and we hear nothing about it. The fact that he was injured, couldn't actually do anything in preseason, came back from the Euros, I think it was, or World Cup. No, it was the Euros, I think. Came back, trained 2 days, flew to America, picked up an injury, gone. I was like, this is not going to work for Allegri. Like, the chance, if an offer comes in, they're shipping him out. They're absolutely shipping him out. So, not saying it's a done deal, but if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. So let's see how that will go. Let me see if there's any news, because I cannot use my PC or anything. No, nothing new. I'm good. Thank Hussein. Thanks for nice words as well. Like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Deepak is saying we're fine as we are. Maybe another midfielder. That is if we aren't sure about Pogba. I don't think we're fine. I don't think we're fine. Can pay for 8 from Pellegrini. They ain't paying for Rovella. That's that's probably very accurate. I don't think Rovella doesn't have a future at Juve. I don't think Rovella doesn't have. Very good player and love to have him play with us, but he doesn't get over in 2 years. Shame on our part. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. But I wouldn't be shocked if he leaves. That's all I'm saying. It's early. Pedula just dropped that, but tomorrow probably we will pick up more on that news because you're gonna close the Pellegrini deal, and they probably will talk about Rovella really quickly on the Pellegrini deal. If what Pedula is saying is right, and I wouldn't absolutely be not surprised if it's right that he's going to Lazio on loan with an obligation to buy if they qualify for Europe in the first season on a 2-year loan. Then we will get 4 to 5 million euros for him, but when he's on loan for 2 years, we are paying up to 60% of his wages. I know he's on 3.5 million. That's a mistake, but that's just ridiculous because Nice and Fulham were willing to pay. You needed to tell Pellegrini, bad luck, buddy. You're gonna go to Nice or Fulham, or you go to Lotito and you ask him to pay your money, or you drop your wages, sort it out. But we're not that kind of club, and it's sad. Pellegrini will leave at one point. Lazio are taking the piss out of us, and the moment we want a player from Lazio, it's all hell. It's impossible to do whatever. But if they want something from us, it's easy. We bend down. It's ridiculous. I absolutely hate how this club operate when selling players. It's actually up to a point where it's disgusting. You know, it is worse. I get the Arthur thing because he had absolutely zero offers besides Fiorentina, and that one is still very strange that he actually went there as well. But the Pellegrini one, we had offers from Nice and Fulham. They were willing to make it happen. You needed to tell him take that offer, or tell Lotito to pay up. But we don't do that. We wasted a month of doing absolutely nothing on that deal, and here we are. We're gonna pay Pellegrini's wages for a big part for 2 seasons, and then get absolutely close to nothing in return for it. Like, that's what it is. So that deal is kind of done. Zakaria, close to Monaco. I'm not sure what Romano said numbers wise. I think we want 25 with bonuses or something, and they are offering 22. It's close. Somebody told Romano in the comments that he's bullshitting. If that offer was 22, he would have accepted it. And Romano tweeted out saying, "It's not bullshit. The club wants 25. They're not going to give away Zakaria because a lot of other clubs are looking at him and they know they will get the money. So it's up to Monaco to bump up their fee for 2-3 million and get that deal done. That one I do like. That I do like, that the club is saying it's 25. It's a fair price in today's market. Pay it. If not, we have other clubs who will pay it for us. So pay up, Monaco, because you do have money. You have very rich owners. So 2-3 million, get it done. I think that will probably get done. He agreed terms with Monaco. Hopefully that gets done really, really soon, because I hate talking about these things over and over again. For the last, I'm gonna say 2 months now, at least 2 months. So that's close to being done. Nothing on Miretti, nothing on Nicolucci, something on Gonzalez. According to Giovanni Albanese, he's gonna go to the under 23s if they sell a defender. Let's see how that will pan out. I rather have that, in my opinion, than him going to Salernitana, where he's not going to play and start, in my opinion. Same for Miretti Nicolucci. He will not struggle to get in that Salernitana team, but they have so many midfielders that it's not a given. And that's my issue. So Gonzalez could be playing for the under 23s, which is, I think, better to have a close eye on him. Doing this channel and actually knowing he's going to play, and you can improve in under 23s. Like, the proof is in the pudding. A lot of players have improved. If you see Yildiz, Hoysen, name Nonge today, he was actually excellent in that first half. In a team that was not that good, but he was brilliant. So they improve in the under 23. So I rather have that than playing 500 minutes for Sanitana. Coming in and out the lineup. I don't think he will improve much doing that personally. Let me see if there's an update. Okay. Jockey Bro is saying, the more I see no news on getting a defender, the more I think Hoyce will stay in the first team. You could be right. I think if that's going to be the case, he will jump in and out with the under 23s. Maybe be in the lineup on the squad sometimes, but play for the under 23s, something like that. I don't think he will be like on the bench, part of the first team from the get-go, starting the 20th of August, because I don't believe Allegri is going to put him in the pecking order ahead of Rugani and Alexandro in a back three if needed. So That's just my personal opinion. So, but you can be right. You can be right. Like the winter's gone. We've not Bonucci is out, or still not out, but he's not part of it. So, um, it's a weird situation, but it is what it is, I guess. Let's see how that will develop. I will wrap this one up because I messed up. I was very late. I need to fix my computer before I go to bed. So, thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe. I will be not live tomorrow. There will be a video. Julian, finally, he's back, so you can hear his opinion on all the news that's going on. That will drop tomorrow. Then Justin will drop a video. And if something would break, potentially Julian will do a live. So stay tuned for that. I will be back on Friday and Saturday for the watch long for our last preseason game against Atalanta. I think the most important watch long, or the most important preseason game, because it's 1 week from the season, and then we will know, okay, are we actually ready to go to Udinese and Bologna next, I guess, and kick off the season in a very positive way. But that's for the next couple of days. Again, thanks for watching. Like the video on your way out, and